Welcome back to my next playthrough series. This time, yes, we're back to Harry Potter Hogwarts battle. We've got Harry and Ron taking on Voldemort and his minions. So we are on to game number 6. And, of course, the objective of the game, as in previous games, defeat all the villains before they gain control of the locations. The last villain you must defeat is Lord Voldemort. Alright, that's game 6. Let's take a look at what we got with game 6. So we get 3 location cards. Use only the game 6 location cards. We will take a very quick look at them. The first one we have is Nocturne Alley. Draw 1 Dark Arts card at the start of each turn, and 7 for the location. The second location is the Burrow. It's going to be drawing 2 Dark Arts cards. It also has 7. And the last one is the Astronomy Tower, drawing 3 Dark Arts cards at the start of each turn, and 8. So we do not want these locations to fall to Voldemort and his minions. Alright, we also got 3 Dark Arts cards shuffled into the giant Dark Arts card pile. We got a new Lord Voldemort, and he is nasty. We replaced the game 5 Voldemort with the game 6. He's on the bottom. We'll see him if I get there and not get defeated first by the end of the game. 2 new villain cards. While we don't know what they are, they may show up here. We got 10 new Hogwarts cards, all shuffled into the giant pile now. So out here we have the Golden Snitch, gain 2 resources, draw a card. We have Tonks, right on. We want we want Ron to get Tonks. Nymphadora Tonks. Choose one, you gain 3 influence or 2 attack, or remove an dark influence from the location. We have a new one here, Bazaar. Any one hero gains 3 life, draw a card for 4. We have Stupefy, which is gain an attack, remove a dark influence in location, draw a card. Another one, Chocolate Frog, Ron's favorite, we know what that's all about. And Pomona Sprout, gain an influence. Any hero gains 2 life, roll the Hufflepuff die. Again, another good one for Ron to have. So those are our Hogwarts cards, Proficiency cards. This is brand new to game 6. This replaces a turn order card above your player board. Well, basically there are 9 proficiencies in the game. Harry's going to have one, Ron's going to have one. We're going to take a look at those here in a second. It tells you how to prepare your hero. And then the gameplay is the same as it was for game 6. And like I said, end of game, we have to defeat all villains, including Voldemort. If we do, we're going to advance to game 7. And if the villains control all locations, guess what? Harry and Ron will have failed. But even if that happens in this playthrough, we still will go to Game 7 anyways for the entire series. Alright, we're going to zoom down on Harry for a minute here. We're going to take a look at the proficiency chosen for him. Then we're going to look at Ron, his proficiency. And then we're probably going to have 1 or 2 turns for this episode. So let's take a look at Harry and his ability and his proficiency, and then we'll look at Ron, and then we'll have the beginning of the game. Alright, hope this is focusing well enough. So we're going to have the Harry Potter game 3. So between game 3 and 6 we have the same Harry Potter card, which means the first time dark influence is removed from the location each turn, any one hero gains an attack. And I've chosen Charms for him, for his proficiency. And the ability, it says, once per turn you may discard 2 spells. If you do, all heroes gain 1 influence and draw a card. So I like that ability. That's pretty cool. That's what I've chosen for Harry Potter. Now let's take a look at Ron Weasley and his proficiency. Alright, so here we have Ron Weasley. We're familiar with this card from the last few games. If you assign 3 or more attack on your turn, any one hero gains 2 life. That's awesome. Arithmancy, which was suggested that Ron take, and so I took it for him because it did make sense for him. It says cards that let you roll house die, kind of like the one right here, Pomona Sprout, cost you 1 less influence to acquire, and each time you roll the die, you may choose to re-roll once. Now, this only applies to when Ron plays a card to roll the die. It does not apply to a Dark Arts card that lets you roll a die, or the very end Voldemort villain that makes you roll a die. It's only when Ron is rolling a die, if that makes sense. That's the official ruling from the designer of the game, so it's just not every time a die is rolled. Ron gets to roll it. It is only when Ron plays a card that makes him roll a die that he gets the option to re-roll it. All right, let's zoom out. Let's see our starting villains and begin the game. All right, well, we have to know who we're battling first. And so, yes, there's the new Voldemort card, which 15 life. So, just so you know that I'm not cheating and stacking the villains in the order that I like, I thought I would just shuffle them up here at the beginning of the game, so you know that they are random. Okay, this is good enough. And now we're going to have our first three villains. Villain 1 is a Death Eater. Each time as Marjorie or a new villain is revealed, all heroes lose a health. Of course, it doesn't count right now. That would be brutal. So these are just going to be the starting three. So we have a Death Eater, and we have Crab and Goyle, the annoying duo. Each time a dark events card or a villain causes a hero to discard a card, that hero loses a health, and that's why we're going to have Chocolate Frog and Dolores Uxbridge. Each time a hero acquires a card with a value 4 or more, that hero loses a health. Damn, that's kind of lame, but that's what we have for our starting villains. All right, we're going to come right back. We're going to have Harry take a turn, Ron take a turn, and if there's time, we might get them to take 2 turns each. All right, up first, Harry Potter with his Charms ability. Can't forget these proficiencies now. They're pretty awesome abilities. All right, beginning of the turn, of course, is the all-important and horrible Dark Arts event card. And we get Obliviate. All heroes choose one, discard a spell, or lose 2 health. Well, let's see what Harry has. Harry's got 1, 2, 3 Alomorhas. Let's see, he would have 4. I think... you know what? Harry's going to lose 2 health. I want him to keep his influence. Or is that going to do him any good? Nope, he's not going to lose 2 influence. Sorry, he's going to discard a Alomorha spell. Okay, he's done it. Oh, hang on. Oh, man, changing my mind again. He has his invisibility cloak, so you know what? He will lose 2 health because he can only lose 1 because he has his invisibility cloak. So he's going to go from 10 hit points down to 9. All right, indecisions already on the very first turn. And Ron has 1, 2, 3, 4. He's just going to discard Alomorha and not suffer the 2 damage. Because that did say all, right? All heroes choose 1, discard a spell, or lose 2 health. All right, villains. Okay, well, it is what it is. Each Mus Marjorie, a new villain. That's not activating Crab and Goyle each time a Dark Arts event or a hero causes you to discard a card. That hero loses a health. So Ron discarded 1 card. He's going to go from 10 down to 9 health for Crab and Goyle. Harry did not discard a card, so that's not happening to him. Now, each time a hero acquires a card with value 4 or more, that hero loses a health. All right, so we're able now to begin Harry's turn. What does Harry have? 1, 2, 3 Alomorha. He is going to take 2 spells. He's going to do his Charms ability right now. Which is once per turn you may discard 2 spells. If you do, all heroes gain an influence and draw a card. So Harry's going to get an influence. Ron is going to get an influence. Harry gets to draw a card. So he gets another Alomorha. And Ron gets to draw a card. So I don't want to forget for him. So he gets to draw a card. All right, carrying on. Invisibility Cloak gains 1 influence for Harry. He has 2 Alomorhas for 2 more influence, giving him a total of 4. And he has his Firebolt. Gain an attack if you defeat a villain. Probably not happening. 1 attack. All right, I think this is annoying. Lots of annoying things out here. Of course, all the villains are all annoying all of the time. We do kind of want to get rid of this guy, though, the Death Eater. Dolores is also really annoying. Let's put the first attack on the Death Eater. And now Harry has 4 influence to spend. And I think with 4 influence, I think Harry will go ahead and spend the 4 influence and get the new card for game 6. Take a closer look. Bazaar. Any one hero gains 3 health. Draw a card. I like this. Costing 4. Unfortunately, when we purchase a card costing 4 or more influence, That hero loses a health. Harry is going to go from 9 down to 8. Okay, he's going to discard his cards, if I haven't screwed up. He's going to draw 5 new cards for his next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, of course. So we're going to have to shuffle his discard, unfortunately, on screen, which is not what I like to do, but hey, it is what it is. So they're shuffled, 5 cards. That's Harry's next hand, and I think I did everything correctly. I'm going to replace the Hogwarts card now with, we get Protego. Gain an attack and 1 life. If you discard this, gain an attack and 1 life. So it's kind of like a chocolate frog. Is it very similar? Similar to chocolate frog, except it's attack, chocolate frog. Influence. All right, up next is Ron Weasley. All right, Ron already has the 1 influence that he got from Harry's Charms ability. And let's go ahead and do the Dark Arts card for Ron. And it is probably terrible. All heroes lose 2 health and cannot gain health this turn. What? Oh man. And of course, does Harry have his cloak? I don't think he would. No, he didn't. Get it shuffled back in his hand. Harry loses 2 health, 8 down to 6. Ooh, bad news. Ron from 9 down to 7, and nobody can gain health this turn. Damn it. Okay, each time as Mordray or a new villain, this isn't happening. Crabbe and Goyle, nobody had to discard cards. If Ron buys anything worth 4 or more influence, Dolores going to nail him to the wall. All right, let's take a look at Ron's cards. He has every flavor beans, and he does not have any allies this turn. All right, so he's going to get basically 1, 2, 3, 4 influence. Ooh, this is good. 1, 2, 3, 4 influence for all his cards. Clean sweep 11. He gets an attack if you defeat a villain. Not happening. He gets 1 attack. All right, this is actually not bad. I'm going to spend his 1 attack on the Death Eater. He has 5 influence. Now, let's not forget his arithmancy. Cards that let you roll Hogwarts die cost you 1 less influence to acquire. Pomona Sprout he can roll the Hufflepuff die. So instead of costing 6, Pomona Sprout going to cost 5. He is going to acquire Pomona Sprout for 5 because of his arithmancy ability. Proficiency. Right on. Unfortunately, that gives him a damage because of Dolores' ability. So he's going from 7 to health down to 6. And I do believe that's the end of his turn. Unless I've messed up, which I don't think I did. And of course, he's going to draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4 for his next hand. Which, yes, indeed means I have to shuffle the cards again. All right. Shuffling. And 1 more. All right. Let's hope that is Pomona Sprout, but I'm not looking at it. And then the last thing we need to do is replace the Hogwarts card with Quidditch gear, gain an attack, and a life. All right, that was Ron's turn. We've got time to do 1 more Harry, 1 more Ron, and so let's get to it. All right, Harry Potter up next. Hate these cards. Dark Arts. Educational decree: for each card with a value of 4 or more in hand, active hero loses a health. Well, does Harry have any cards worth 4 or more in hand? No, he has all basic cards. Doesn't lose anything for that. The Death Eater, Mordray? Nope, we didn't replace a villain. Crabbe and Goyle, we didn't have to discard any cards. Keeping Dolores in mind that if we purchase a card worth 4 or more, we get nailed for a damage. All right, Harry might as well use his Charms ability again. He's going to discard 2 Alomorphas, discard 2 spells, all heroes gain an influence, and draw a card. So Harry gets an influence, Ron gets an influence, Harry draws a card. Ooh, right on. That is so right on. Harry draws a card, and Ron draws a card. Don't want to forget that. All right, so far, so good. And now we have, for Harry, 2 Alomorphas is going to be 2 influence. Bozar. Any one hero gains 3 health, excuse me, and draws a card. Harry's going to gain 3 health, going from 6 to 9. Harry gets to draw a card. I like that. Loa Morha, giving him another influence. Hedwig, he can either do 2 health or an attack. He will use the 1 attack. Alright, so Harry's got 4 influence, 1 attack. He is going to attack the Death Eater. And for 3 influence, okay, which is not going to trigger Dolores' ability, he is going to snap up the Quidditch gear, costing 3. Alright, because her ability is if it's 4 or more, you take a damage. He didn't. And I don't think I messed anything up. I really hope I didn't. Which means he can't use that influence for 1. He's going to discard his cards. He will drop 5 new cards. 1, 2, 3. Of course, he has 4 for his next hand, which means a bit of shuffling again. Apologize. All right, shuffle, shuffle, and make sure they're shuffled up good. 5 cards. All right. So Charms ability, proficiency coming in handy so far. We replace the Hogwarts card with Triwizard Cup. Gain an attack, an influence, and a health, costing 5. Not a bad card at all. Alright, that ends off Harry's turn. We're going to end off the episode for today, our opening introductory episode to Game 6, with Ron Weasley. Okay, Ron Weasley has an influence, which he got from the Charms ability from Harry Potter. Alright, yes, the Rotten Dark Arts event card. Oh wow, it's the same one again. For each card of value 4 or more in hand, the active hero loses a health. Yes, these were shuffled a lot. So, luck of the draw. Does he have any 4 or more cards? He has all basic cards. He is not going to suffer any damage. Musmorgery come up? No, it didn't. Did we replace any villains? No. Do we have to discard any cards? No. For every card purchased 4 or more, active hero, that hero loses a health. Alright, so Ron just gets to go ahead and play his turn. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 5 Aloha Morhas for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Choose one. Active hero gets 2 health or an attack. I think, you know what? I think Ron's going to take 2 health. He's going to go from 6 to 8. I know we should be attacking these guys, but I think we're doing okay, he says. So Ron has 2, 4, 6 influence. None of the allies or cards let him roll dice. So he's not going to be able to use his arithmancy ability. But he's all about the allies. He's going to spend 5 influence and get Tonks. Tonks is awesome. So for 5 influence, he will purchase the Tonks card. Ally, yes, Dolores kicks in, having Ron lose a health. He's going to go from 8 down to 7. He can't buy anything else because there's only 1 influence left. So then he will discard his cards. He will draw 5 new cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for his next hand. And I think we're going to leave it off there. As soon as I replace, of course, the Hogwarts card with Protego, gain an attack and a life. If you discard this, gain an attack and a life. All right. That is going to conclude our introductory and episode 1 of Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle Game 6. Yeah, this is going to be brutal. Didn't seem too brutal to start with, but we have a long ways to go. We have 3 villains out at once. We are still Nocturne Alley, revealing 1 Dark Arts card per turn. We don't have any Dark Influence on the location yet. We have Tonks now with Ron, which is excellent. And I think there was another card out here. Yes, this one. Remove 1 influence from the location, draw a card that we'd like to have in somebody's hand. So thanks so much for watching along. This is going to be Game 6. This is going to get ugly sooner rather than later. I hope Ron and Harry, with their new proficiencies, will be able to handle Voldemort and his cronies. At least we'll find out in the following episode. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, your subscriptions, and likes. Really appreciate it, as always. So join me next time when Harry and Ron continue to battle Voldemort and his minions in Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle Game 6.